So what keeps you going when everything around you is falling apart? When adversity hits, whether it's in your leadership, your ministry, or your life, how do you stay on course instead of giving up? Well, welcome to this week's episode. My name is Dale Sisam, and I'm privileged to lead a network of Christian leaders and churches called Harvest Network. Well, before we dive into today's topic, let me ask you another question. Have you ever felt the weight of leadership pressing down on you, like you're carrying the burden all by yourself? And if so, then you're not alone, because many leaders feel this way. But here's the truth. Leadership was never meant to be a solo journey. Think about Moses. He was called by God to lead Israel, but at one point he was completely overwhelmed. And he tried to do it all by himself until his father-in-law, Jethro, he stepped in and he said, Moses, this is not sustainable. You have to share the load. Well, Moses appointed other leaders to help him, and the whole nation was stronger for it. You see, that same principle applies to today. Proverbs 27:17 reminds us, as iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. We all know leadership is hard. We all have blind spots, and that's why we need people around us. Mentors who will guide us, peers to encourage us, and even younger leaders that we're investing in. Well, think about this. Even Jesus didn't lead alone. He poured into his disciples to carry on the mission. See, leadership isn't about standing alone at the top. It's about bringing others along. It's about multiplying leadership and building something that lasts beyond us. So let me ask you, who's walking with you? Who's sharpening you? And who are you pouring into? I know at Harvest Network, we'd love to walk alongside you on your leadership journey, because real success isn't what we accomplish alone, but it's the legacy that we build together. So let's go back to the first question. What keeps you going when everything around you is falling apart? Because we all face adversity. It's not if, but when we face it. But when you have a clear vision for your life, or your ministry, your organization, that vision becomes the compass that helps you navigate adversity. Several years ago, I went through one of the most difficult seasons of my life. I faced a major health crisis. I had a growing tumor in my head. And during that same season, we lost almost 3/4 of our church members. Man, it was the perfect storm. It was a personal crisis and organizational hemorrhaging. But it was vision that got me through it. You see, vision helped me stay focused, to navigate the chaos and come out the other side so much stronger. So how does vision help you overcome life's storm? Well, let me break it down. Number one is this. Vision gives you a North Star. You see, when you're caught in a storm, vision becomes your compass. Without it, every challenge feels like chaos. It's like you're being tossed by the waves with no idea what direction to go. Well, vision gives you clarity. It reminds you where you're headed and why it matters. And when everything else is unstable, then vision becomes your anchor point. It becomes your true north. Think about Joseph. He was betrayed by his brothers. He was sold into slavery, falsely accused, and then thrown into prison. Everything in his life screamed failure and injustice. But Joseph never lost sight of the dream that God gave him. He knew he had a purpose that extended way beyond his present pain. He held on to that vision, and it's what sustained him. You see, when you're disoriented by adversity, you need something fixed and unmovable. Just like a sailor in a storm who looks to the North Star to orient their journey, you need vision to chart your course through confusion. And here's the takeaway. If you don't define your vision when the skies are clear, you won't be able to find it when the storm hits. See, vision must be established before adversity arrives. Secondly is this. Vision helps you see beyond the struggle. One of the hardest things about adversity is that it tries to shrink your world down to the pain that you're experiencing right now. But vision pulls your eyes forward. It helps you lift your head and see the bigger picture. 2 Corinthians 4:17 says, for our light momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all. Now let's be honest. Most of our struggles don't feel light or momentary in the moment. But vision reminds you that what you're walking through is part of a grander, greater story. See, vision reframes the narrative. And think about a construction project. If you walk into the job midway through, all you're going to see is the dust and the noise and the mess. But if you've seen the architect's plans, then you know what the final product's going to be. And that's what vision does. It lets you see the end from the middle. It brings hope when nothing around you looks hopeful. I think about Abraham in the Bible, that the Bible says that even though his circumstances were contrary to hope, he was old and his wife was old, but yet it was in hope that he still believed. So if you're in a storm right now, let your God-given vision remind you, this isn't the end, it's just a chapter in your life. Number 3 is this. Vision helps you make wise decisions under pressure. See, pressure makes us reactive. We make quick decisions just to relieve the discomfort. But here's the danger. When you're under pressure, the wrong decision can create long-term consequences. And that's where vision comes in. You see, a clear vision filters out the decisions. It helps you ask, does this align where God is leading me? Is this decision going to move us closer to the goal, or is it going to pull us off course? Well, let's look at Nehemiah. When he was rebuilding the wall of Jerusalem and the opposition was fierce, his enemies tried to distract him, discouragement, even lure him into a trap, get him off the wall. But what did Nehemiah say? He said, I'm doing a great work. I can't come down. You see, he knew his vision and he knew his assignment, and that clarity gave him the courage to say no to distraction. See, leaders under pressure need that same resolve. When your vision is clear, your decisions become clearer. Here's a tip. Let your vision drive your decisions, not just your emotions. Number 4 is this. Vision fuels resilience and perseverance. See, vision doesn't just help you survive hardship. It empowers you to endure it with purpose. See, when you know the why you're doing what you're doing, then you can endure just about anything. Hebrews 12:2 says, for the joy set before him, he endured the cross. See, Jesus endured the suffering of the cross because of the vision of redemption that was on the other side. And that's the power of vision. It gives pain a purpose. I know when I went through my health crisis and our church was losing members, man, it would have been easy to give up, throw in the towel. But I kept going back to the vision that God gave me. I knew he had more in store. And that belief gave me the strength to persevere. And here's a practical takeaway. Write down your vision somewhere where you can see it. And when adversity hits, revisit it. And let it remind you what you're doing matters. And that your purpose is worth the pain. Number 5, vision attracts the right people to help you. In adversity, your instinct might be to pull away, to isolate, and to figure it out all on your own. And I've often said, storms are not the time to be isolated. They're the time to be insulated by community. See, vision attracts the right people. And when you carry a clear, compelling vision, others are drawn to it. Not because your life is perfect, but because your purpose is clear. I think of David in the cave of Adullam. He was at one of the lowest points of his life. Man, he was on the run. He was hiding from Saul. And yet people who were in distress and debt and discouragement, they gathered around him. Why was that? Because they saw something in David. They caught a glimpse of the king that he was becoming. And that shared vision turned a group of misfits into a mighty army. See, in leadership, especially in tough times, people rally to vision, not personality. And if you're walking through a storm, don't walk it alone. Share the vision. Let others see it, because it just might awaken their purpose too. Lastly, number 6, vision reminds you that God is in control. And here's an important truth. Vision isn't something you invent, it's something you receive. And if the vision you carry is from God, then God is responsible for fulfilling it. Revelation 22:16 calls Jesus the bright and morning star. You see, he's our ultimate North Star. We live and serve to bring glory to him, not to build our own kingdoms. And that means that when the storm comes, and it will, you can trust that God is faithful. Because if he gave you the vision, he will provide the strength, the people, and the provision to carry it through. Sometimes all you can do is just take the next step in faith. But even when the path is unclear, remember this: God sees the full map, and He knows the way forward, and He never, ever, ever wastes a storm. And He will use it to shape us for the very thing that He's called us to do. So hold on and keep your eyes on that vision. And more importantly, keep your eyes on the God who gave it to you. Well, as we wrap up today's episode, let me remind you of what we've explored. Vision is your North Star. It gives you direction when everything feels uncertain. Vision helps you see the struggle, reminding you that your current hardship is not the whole story. Vision helps you make wise decisions under pressure. It filters out the distractions and it keeps you on mission. Vision fuels resilience and perseverance. It gives your pain a purpose and your heart a reason to keep going. Vision attracts the right people to help you. It draws like-minded leaders who share the journey with you. And most importantly, vision reminds you that God is in control. And if He gave you the vision, no storm can stop it. You see, adversity is inevitable, but with a God-given vision, you can face it with confidence and endurance and hope. Well, here's a simple challenge for you this week. Take 10 minutes. Find a quiet place and write down your vision. Make it clear and memorable and ask yourself, what has God called me to do? Who am I becoming? And why does this matter, even when it's hard? Well, let your vision be the reminder you need when the winds start to blow. Well, if this episode has encouraged you or helped you in any way, I'd love for you to subscribe and share it with a friend or even a fellow leader, because you never know who might be walking through a storm right now, and your share could be the encouragement that they need. Until next time, lead with vision, stay the course, and remember, God is not finished with your story. Hey, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in the next episode.